Thank you for joining. I am going to make a fabric wrap earrings. And take this thing off. And then I'm gonna make a fabric wrap bracelet as well. So I'm just cutting out the fabrics that I need to use. You can see on the table I have the thicker ones, and then I have the thinner ones. These are about 1/2 inch, and this ones are about 1 inch. So I'm gonna wrap this bracelet and this one, and then I'm gonna wrap this earring with this fabric. I'll do the bracelet first. So this is a fabric. It has different colors in it. You can decide which way you want to start. I'm thinking the blue will be my beginning. You can either cut the selvage out. You don't have to. I do. And then just make sure that you're using the front fabric, not the back. It's kind of hard when the fabric actually just look pretty much the same front and back. So this is the, oh, hold on. I think this is the front. Either way, they all look the same, so it's not going to be a big deal. I have a hot glue gun with the wax in there, and then I'm going to use a, what's this called? Forgot the name of that. But I use a seam ripper to poke holes in the earring. So the way that I do my earrings, I take off the hooks. So it comes like this. It comes like so. But before I wrap it, I have to take it off so that when I wrap it, it lays really flat and nice. So I'm going to show you that once I finish the bracelet. I'm going to do the bracelet first, okay? This is just a blank bracelet that you can actually wear it as is. But if you want to add color to it, stay and watch. Alright, so I take my hot glue gun. It's already plugged and it's hot. You can see. It's very hot actually. So I'm just going to put it in the middle of this bracelet. You can see that. And then before it dries off, I'm going to put the fabric down like so. So when it dries, it holds the fabric, the glue holds the fabric down so you can't move it. You want it to be tight, so the hot glue gun is pretty good for that. And before I wrap it, I want to hide my selvage end. So I'm just gonna fold it a little bit like so, and so I have a smooth top right there. So it's not, you're not gonna see the cut selvage, you're not gonna see the fray fabric on there. It's just covered up like so. So it's a lot smoother. I don't know if you can see that, like that. So all you're doing right now is just wrap this thing around, and you want to make sure you pull it tight when you're wrapping it. That way you have that smooth wrap. This is very easy to make too, so you can use any fabric that you have or that you want to use. Just make sure that as you wrap it, you're folding the selvage edge or the cut edge. That way it comes out really smooth and you don't see that up here, okay? So all I'm doing right now is just to wrap this around and make sure when you're wrapping it is smooth. And when you're wrapping it, you're still pulling it tight. You can't let it go, because if you do, then it's loose and it can unravel. We don't want that, okay? So there you go. And don't forget to always cover the selvage before you wrap it. You're still wrapping it around the fold right there, so it looks quite smooth. So this is what I do when I have a bunch of leftover fabrics from any bag that I make or dress that we make. So that box right there is my pieces. Hello, thank you for joining. So I just go through my pieces and pick up a fabric that speaks to me that day, I guess. All right, so we're at the end of that. Oops, sorry. We're the end of that. And just like you folded the top of this fabric, you want to fold the bottom as well when you get to the end. That way you have a smooth edge on both ends, okay? So that's what I did right there. I just folded that. It looked like that before. So I just fold that in. And I'm still holding it really tight. And then I'm going to wrap that around at least twice. That way it'll cover up this selvage end, okay? So that's it. That's to the end of it. And now I'm going to cut the fabric off this bracelet, but I'm still holding it really tight. That way it doesn't unravel. You can see that, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is to cut and leave just a little piece of it right here. That way, when I put the glue down, it'll be inside the bracelet, okay? Some scissors. All right, so that's the cut part of it. It's really small what I left over. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and then I'm going to put the glue just like I did at the beginning, and then I'll push it down. Push the fabric on the glue. You don't want a lot of glue on this thing because it leaves like this white sediment. So once you put the glue in, then you press the fabric on top on the glue. Just cut out any fray fabric in there. Thank you. All right, so if you can see, the inside of that is pretty clean. That's where I put the glue right there. And honey, that's it. You're done. My hands are a tad big, so it doesn't fit this. But it'll fit a small wrist, and you can push this through, and that's it for that. And you can see how smooth that is, because you want to get a smooth edge. You don't want to see the selvage where you cut, because when you cut the fabric, this is what it looks like, and this part can fray if you don't fold it in. Yes, there is your painting. I was going to talk about that. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see this beautiful painting by Phoenix Art Studio. Come check it out. She's going to have more paintings out here. I love this painting. I wish I can get it. But it's really beautiful. So I was going to mention that at the end. But thank you for bringing it up. So yes, we are featuring this beautiful painting, and it's called Nuts of Valor. Oh, it's beautiful. I've had a lot of people ask me about that painting, and I was like, it's for sale. Come and get it. Okay? All right. She's very talented, by the way, and she's she's awesome. All right. So that's it for that one. That's done. Now I'm going to make use a different frame for this bracelet. This one does fit my hand, so I can wear this one. And I usually layer this with like a different color. If I make I can use a different fabric pattern and make the same size, because that's about the only one that fits my wrist. So I would layer it so you have like several of them on one wrist. It's really beautiful. So if you're just joining, thank you for joining us. I just showed how to make this bracelet, and I'm going to show the same thing with a different bracelet frame. So as you can see, this one's a lot smaller. Not that small though, but anywho. So we're going to start making that by, I'm going to start on the yellow side this time around. What you do is you cut your fabric to 1 inch. Or a little bigger than that, but I wouldn't go too big because then it'd be bulky. You don't want that. Then you cut the selvage off. And the next thing is to find the face of this fabric, the front. But with African prints, the front and the back, they're pretty much the same. Most of the time you can't tell the difference. So because it's a bracelet, it doesn't really matter. Because they all look pretty much the same. So what I did there is just to put a hot glue right there, and then I press the fabric to the glue. It makes it really tight and dry. And then all I'm gonna do now is to fold the edge of the right side. Now if you're left-handed, I don't know, just fold whichever direction you're going, fold the top of that. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this right here like so, just to hide the selvage, because if you don't hide it, it's gonna fray. As you can see, this one already started fraying. So just fold it like so and wrap it. Hold it really tight, and don't worry about hiding that, because when we finish wrapping it, you're gonna hide that. Alright, so we're just gonna wrap this. While we're wrapping it, we're holding it pretty tight, like so. This is perfect when you have an outfit that you want to accent, or if you just have the same material, the same outfit. I don't know, if you have an outfit in the same material and you wanted a matching set, that's what this is about. So you can do that as well. And you gotta be careful, because you don't want to run out of fabric either. So I just noticed that this one has a wide base, so I need to be careful that I have enough fabric to wrap around the whole thing. So here we go. How are you guys doing? It's Friday Eve. Somebody said happy Friday Eve. I'm like, what is that? That's apparently a thing. So happy Friday Eve. So I got to the end of it. Now, just like we folded the top of this, we have to fold the bottom as well, so that when we wrap it, we can hide the edges. Okay. All right, so I just folded that. Really easy to fold. Just fold it in, and then we're gonna wrap it like so. All right, so I have my end right there. I'm gonna use this to wrap around it. Now, if you don't like the distance or how that ends, you can wrap it again just to cover that and make it more smooth. So all I'm doing is that. So that's the end of that. I'm just going to snip this part out, and then I'll glue it down. Alright, so that is done. We just did another bracelet. See how easy that was. You have this one and then you have this one. They're both the same fabric pieces. They're just different shapes and sizes of the bracelet. Okay. Now on to the earrings. So like I said before, this is what the earrings look like. This is at least one of the blanks that I have. They are made of acrylics, so this is really light. It's not heavy at all. Okay, so it comes as like so. And what I do is I remove the jump ring and the hooks. That way when I wrap it, it's smooth, just like the bracelet that we did. So we want it as smooth as possible. We don't want to see any bulk or any rough edges in there. So I'm just going to remove this. Alright, so that's one. I'm going to set it aside too. You don't want to lose that because we're going to put it back in once we're done. Okay. Alright. So here are my two blanks. And I'm just going to wrap this just like I did the bracelet. I had already cut out my earring pieces. And you want to make sure that you're using the same side. So this fabric has different patterns within one fabric. So one side is more blue and the other side's more yellow. So I'm going to start with the blue side. And when I do the blue, I have to start with the blue on both earrings. That way they don't look like mismatches. So I'm just cutting out the salvage edge from the fabric, and I'm going to find the front of the fabric. Okay, so this is the front, and then I'll turn to the back of the blank, and I'm going to put the glue right past where the hole is, because if you start here, then the bulk is going to sit here instead of somewhere here or here. You don't want it to sit here because we're going to poke a hole here to put the jump ring and the earring hooks back. Okay, so alright, so that's the glue. I'm just going to put this down and let it dry like so. As you can see, that's where the hole is. Right before that, that's the hole. And once that's done, we're going to fold the top like we usually do, and then we will wrap around the whole thing. All right. For the earrings, it's the same way as you're wrapping the bracelet. You just want to make it sure it's as tight as possible because you don't want it to unravel. Some people put glue every at every wrap. I think that's just, I don't know, that's too much glue to put on one thing. But if you wrap it this way, it's tight and it doesn't unravel. I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that right there. Let me move that camera down a little bit so you can see it. Oh, there you go. You can see it right there. By the way, we're open, so if you want to stop by the shop and say hi or just shop, that'd be great. We are open on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for now. Thursdays from 4:30, and then Fridays from 11, and Saturdays from 11 as well. So stop by and say hello and check out our new shop. Alright, so we're getting to the end of this one now. And we're going to do the same thing that we did to the bracelet. We're going to fold the bottom as well as the top. So like so, you have that smooth edge on both sides. And then we're just going to wrap around it twice. And we are done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to cut the end of this, and I'm going to cut it so close that when I put the glue, it's going to sit right underneath the earring, so it doesn't sit on this side or the other side. So it's quite tiny and close, and I'm just going to put the glue right there. So you can't really see the glue on it, all right? Because it's underneath that. It's right here, okay? So one earring is done. Now on to the next earring. Put the glue again, past where the hole is. Where do you got a glue? All right, this is almost done anyway. Okay, and we're gonna wrap it just the same way as the other one. You can take it slow when you're starting out. I've done this a million times. I've sort of perfected the way that I wrap my earrings. Just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and this is what works for me. If it doesn't work for you, maybe some other way works for you. So you can leave a comment on the bottom if you do it different. I'd love to hear or see your work. It's good to learn from each other, you know. And your hands might get tired, so you just want to take it slow, take a break if you need to. Like sometimes I have to stop and just but we do offer wholesale on this. If you want to put it in your shop, we could do that as well. You could either pick the fabric that you want, or if you want us to use like different pieces, different patterns of fabric, we could do that as well. So I'm back at the beginning of where I started. So now we're going to do the same thing, just fold it in. That way we have smooth edge on both sides. And then we're going to wrap it twice, okay? One, and then the second one is to cover the first, where we started, to kind of make it clean and no salvage sticking out. So that's the goal of that. And then I'm just going to cut this off and put the glue again, just like we did the other one. And that is it. See? It's so smooth. Alright, so we're done wrapping this thing. Now we have to put back the jump ring and the earring hooks that we had taken out. I'm just going to clear my desk a little bit so I can have room. Let's see what I'm doing. Alright, so these are the two pairs, the one pair of earring. So what I'm going to do now, at this point, you're just going to guess. Hold the earring up like so and see where the top might be, somewhere here. So now you're just going to try poking through. When you get to the hole, it will let you poke through. Okay, found the hole. Excuse me. And the reason why I'm using a seam ripper is that I can play with it. Okay, I can, when I push this in, I can wiggle it to make it bigger so I can actually put the jump ring through. Okay, so I have my hole ready, and what I'm going to do right now is to put the jump ring through to the other side. All right, there you have it on the other side. And then I have to look at the way that my earring hook is made. So right now the earring hook is made to sit like so. It'll sit in your ear like so. So I want this side to be the front. Okay, so remember how we finished this? The bottom, you can still see the glue a little bit, so I'm going to put that to the back, but the front would be the smooth side. Okay, so just like so, you're going to put the earring hook on there, and then you're going to take your clasp, take your tool, and close that gap. All right. All right, so once you close that gap, you want to turn this to where the hole is. That way it's hidden in the back. So that's what it looks like when it's done. It's quite beautiful too. The colors are great. And we're going to do the same thing for this other pair. All right, so take it again, and then we're going to find the hole, which it won't be too far from where you started. So if you gaze, you can guess where you started and where the hole would be, and just play around it. Okay, you can poke few holes. Once you get to the hole, your seam ripper is going to go through it. It's quite tiny and sharp. So what I'm doing now is just wiggling to give it room for the jump ring to go through. And I'll take my jump ring and put it through the hole to the other side. Sometimes it doesn't come out like you want it to, and you just take it out and poke the hole again. So right like that. And then I'm just going to come to this other side and make sure the hole is visible as well. And then put the jump ring through. It went through. Okay. So now I'm going to put the hook back there. And I will just close this up like I did the other one. All right. So that's closed up, and I'm going to move that to the bottom. If you can push it in the middle, great. If you can't, that's okay. And voila, we're done. A fabric wrapped earring. And I'm just going to put this up at the shop. That's what it looks like. It's all complete and it's beautiful, right? I love it. So we basically made all 3 items. We made this earring and we made 2 different types of bracelet with the same fabric, okay? And you can wear this as a set if you want to. You can layer it. If you want to layer it, it's up to you. But it's a bright color, so I mean, summer is here. You want something that would accent your outfit, we got you, okay? If we don't have the color that you want, you can pick a fabric and we can custom make it for you, okay? So there it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good night and happy Friday Eve. Bye. Maybe I don't know how to end this thing. It usually works, but